All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me, we're all talking about martial arts for like 20 minutes, because that's what we do. Announcements. I mentioned this before the stream last night. I'll mention it again today. Um, Big news for Daggerheart specifically. Um, they have Demiplane has gotten permission from Darrington Press to start putting the Void content on there. So as of right now, both the Warlock and the Brawler, which used to be the Fighter, which was a dumb name for a monk, uh, are both available on Demiplane. You can build characters with them. I have a fairy monk. He is the coolest dude ever. So, yeah. In addition to that, they claim, or not they claim, they've said that the SRD content is also on Demiplane. Because I own the Daggerheart stuff on Demiplane, I haven't been able to check to see if that means that all the SRD content is in the character builder or not. One of these days, I'm going to convince someone to check for me, but that takes time. So, cool stuff going on
We
there.
can get a couple more friends interested in Daggerheart. They can check that out.
We've already got Toast almost convinced that all he's ever going to play now is Daggerheart. So, as of yesterday, I ran my second adventure in my Village of Hamlet Daggerheart campaign, where I'm literally running people through the first adventure of the Temple of Elemental Evil using Daggerheart instead, and it went super well. It was super fun. Um,
We didn't get kicked out of any town.
yeah, there was no banishment this time. They learned how to
Well,
do an
it would be
exploding
impressive.
fastball special. Like, I
It would be
mean,
impressive if we get kicked out of a ruin.
yeah. Well, give yourself some time. This ruin is a lot spicier than you guys have been led to believe thus far.
The
So,
douche, you say?
um, but yeah, it's been massively fun. Every time I run Daggerheart, I am just impressed every single time because it just gets easier and easier to run every single time. My only issue right now is Demiplane doesn't have a way to kind of like build encounters, so I have to track everything on an Excel spreadsheet, which is not difficult. It's just an additional step that I don't want to have to take. Like that's all it is.
It's early days of it. I'm sure they'll get around to it.
And when that is my biggest complaint, like that's such a nitpicky thing to
Yeah.
have a complaint about. Um, so yeah, overall it has been just incredibly fun to play it. They added two new classes to their playtest that haven't made it to the Nexus yet, which are the Witch and the Assassin, both of which are interesting to say the least. So yeah, Darrington Press is going like hog wild in trying to get as much new content out as quickly. The one thing that I really want to see that I haven't seen yet, and we probably won't see it for at least another few months minimum, is I want to see them start publishing adventures. Simply because I've never, they have a quick start adventure. I've never run it. I haven't even read it, to be perfectly honest. Um, uh, but quick start adventures are exactly that. They're meant to kind of introduce the system is perfectly fine, but they're very light content wise. Like they're supposed to get you interested in the system, not tell an epic story or anything like that. So I'm not expecting anything amazing from a quick start adventure. Just something that will teach the game. Um, but yeah, and now that they've got Crawford and Perkins, like good things are going to
Apparently,
be coming.
I learned recently Ivan Van Norman stepping down.
Really?
Yeah, but it makes sense. It's like, oh, contextually, that makes sense because he has his own company, Hunter's Entertainment.
Oh, I didn't even realize he had his own company.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so with that context, it's like, oh, well, this is inevitable. He has to like, it's either you have to focus on one or the other more. That's his company.
But
Obviously, he wants to.
I'd be interested to see because if I remember correctly, Ivan had a pretty big hand in Candela Obscura.
Oh yeah, and Darrington at Darrington Press, he had a massive influence and impact.
But
Shout out to Ghostfire podcast.
anyway, so that's cool stuff going on there. As far as anything else in the TTRPG world, stuff is going on. I have like 2 or 3 different Kickstarters that I backed like last year that are getting to the point of things like Draw Steel uh, is getting closer and closer to completion. 13th Age, I think, just went to the printers for second edition for 13th Age, which I love 13th Age. The Welcome to Night Vale TTRPG is coming out in August, and I already have my PDF copy of that, which was super cool and fun. So yeah, and then there's a new book coming out in September for the Transformers RPG. So lots of cool stuff going on. Critical Role is in Australia right now, or at least they were yesterday. I don't know if they're still in Australia.
Are going to have been depending on the time zone.
Yeah. Australia could basically be another planet, and it would make more sense with how their time zones work. So I've given up trying to figure it out. We were lucky enough to have Dale, who's a wonderful Australian YouTuber and other things, join us for our Power Rangers game. And even when I was communicating with her every week, I still didn't understand the time zones. So Australia is kind of a pretty place, depending on which part of it you're in. And most of it is trying to kill you, so watch out for
ice
drop
cream.
bears.
I'm gonna get some ice cream and go to another room, different time zone.
Yep. They have a half-hour time zone. They're one of, I think there's like one other country in the world that uses half-hour time zones.
Canada has one.
Did they? Do they still? Because I don't think they have it anymore.
I think like Labrador. Somebody was there.
You know, why, when you mentioned that Canada had something weird, did I immediately think Quebec?
Oh, Quebec.
As B. Dave Walter usually says,
Yeah,
you
no first one.
It is. The more I learn about Quebec, the more it annoys me. Because, like, well, it's like Quebec is the reason that Tim Hortons is plural instead of possessive. Because they have a law that all signage in the country is required to be in French. And in French, they don't have possessive S's. The way you make things possessive is completely different grammatically. And so Tim Hortons used to be Tim Horton apostrophe S because it was the restaurant of Tim Horton. And as soon as they expanded into Quebec, it was easier for them to rename the company than it was to have completely different signage for everything in Quebec. And the reason why, like, sweepstakes will say not valid in Quebec is because all of their laws are really weird and they screw up everything. And so it's just easier to just exclude Quebec. And the Quebecois are happy with it because they're some of the most antisocial people I've ever met.
Fun fact. In the movie Wayne's World,
Mm-hmm.
the restaurant that Ed O'Neill worked at was supposed to be a Tim Hortons, but nobody in America would know what a Tim Hortons was, so they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Tim Hortons and Ed O'Neill.
So, Yeah.
It was
cool.
earlier, which no one has any
Yeah,
context for.
we were talking about Ed O'Neill when we were talking about martial arts and things like that. But yeah, my understanding, Tim Hortons, lovely place, like the Canadian
God, I
Denny's,
would love a maple syrup glaze right now.
I
except
will be
it's held
traveling to
in
Michigan.
slightly higher regard than Denny's, which I've never understood because I like Denny's. I don't think it's a bad place at all. I think it's, for what it's supposed to be, it's lovely.
There was this saying, I think it's a very old comedic thing I heard. Like that's the saying for Denny's. Like, hey, it's Denny's. It's 3 a.m., but you're fucked up. Come on in.
So like Denny's is like the Waffle House. Like Waffle House, that's a scary place. Decent
Say
food.
what you will. Say what you will, but in times of bad weather, they're a great barometer for if the Waffle House is shut down, get your shit, get out, get to safety. There are places literally where bad weather is imminent. They look like, hey, is Waffle House closing up and boarding up? Oh shit, they are.
Yeah, leave now.
We're
The
done.
world is ending. We had in the town I went to high school at, we had a 24-hour George Webb's, and it was always funny during like musical season because the musical would attract people that normally didn't have anything to do with like the music wing of the school. And so we'd have all these people who could come in and, you know, they'd be extras and stuff. And then they would all go out and like party. But those of us that were like the core theater people that were there all year and were involved in everything, especially like the tech guys, we would all go to George Webb's while everyone else is like, yeah, let's go get drunk at a farm. Because Wisconsin. We would go to George Webb's and would just shoot the shit until like 3 a.m. and then get up and go to school the next day. Because we were already jaded, starving artists in high school. Anyway, so I think that's all for announcements and looks into my past life as a theater kid. And I feel really bad because theater kid has such a like negative connotation now. To be blunt, a lot of it is deserved because of theater kids, but I don't know. Like I used to really enjoy being a theater kid, and the theater kids that now define theater kids, the rest of us theater kids didn't like them any more than you guys did. So, like I hung out with all the tech dudes. Like one of my best friends would run the light and soundboard every single production. And I learned very quickly you don't piss off the tech dudes or the stage manager because bad things happen. And they don't look bad. You look bad. Anyway. You guys want to play some Dungeons and or Dragons?
Yes.
Cool. Then, let us return to the legend of the Three Kingdoms. The party has descended deeper into the world of dreams. After convincing a few more members of the town to wake up, suddenly something changed. Strange figures started appearing everywhere, and they started attacking. These strange, ghostly figures would attack the minds of the party, dealing immense amounts of psychic damage. But the party was able to vanquish them, and eventually were able to contact another trapped member of the town. Unfortunately, though, they weren't able to get through to this member, and he slowly faded into the train itself. Realizing a lost cause, the party moved forward, entering the final car of the train and discovering two groups of figures seemingly at odds. And that is where we return. So, I just realized I don't have the thing open I need to know what I'm doing. I have to find my thingy. Where are you? I'm a good dungeon master, and I'm always prepared for everything, totally. Oh, it's partnered content, that's why. There we go. I'm just reviewing things because it's been a little while since we've had a chance
while.
to. It's been a while.
It been one time.
Been almost a month.
All right, there we go. So the last time that we played, just to kind of bring everyone back up to speed, you guys were in the dining car, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There were several people there. All but one we were able to remind this is a dream, to wake up. And before that, there was a encounter with dream ghosts, not actually undead. And they
There we go.
really, really didn't like the fact that Relwyn was, in particular, making a lot of noise, but not actually talking.
Yeah.
And then you guys talked to the one dude.
Turn the singing fish off. Turn the singing fish off. Swipe, 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 swipe. Just resets. It's gonna start over again.
So yeah, you guys were able to defeat them. You tried to convince another dude, but he seemed unconvinced. And then you guys came into the third carriage, right?
Yeah.
So when you guys come in, the first thing that you notice is literally right when you come in on these two couches are two groups of figures. There are three people on the right, three people on the left, and they both are kind of eyeing each other, but not actually saying anything to each other. They're just kind of staring.
Just mean mugging each other.
Kind of. You can sense a palpable amount of tension amongst that. If anyone wants to give me an insight check, you can see if you can figure out anything more than, damn, it's tense.
Relwyn's got insight.
21 for Argenta.
18 plus 9, 27.
All right.
Vala got an 11
Okay.
for insight. So
Liliane?
Insight.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, I missed Argenta. What did you get?
21.
21. Thank you.
17.
Okay. So between the three of you that rolled decently, Vala, you are still kind of fixated on the person that you weren't able to save and kind of beating yourself up over that. But the rest of you guys, as you're looking at these two groups of people that are literally right next to the door here, kind of staring eyes at them, you notice something kind of interesting. While they both have very strong emotions kind of pointed at the other group, the group on the right has kind of a combination of like anger and disgust that it seems like they're aiming at this other group, and the group at the left, to a casual observer, they would look maybe angry or exasperated, but especially since Relwyn was able to get a 27, you can kind of see that that is a masking emotion that they're putting up to hide what they're really fearing and feeling, and you get the idea that they are feeling terrified. So what would y'all like to do?
Hmm.
Rowan will kind of like, for anyone who's like, I think also from his passive perception inside, he kind of like leans over to Vala and kind of fills her in. He kind of goes like, they both seem to be very hostile towards one another, but the group on the left is actually trying to hide their terror.
Hmm. A lot of emotions on this train.
Different ones they're feeding off of.
Right.
It's the Great Space Coaster.
I could try suggesting a course of action for them, perhaps in mass. A mass suggestion, if you will.
Are we gonna kick off a fight? We're trying to wake people up. We're not trying to encourage the dream.
No, but if maybe I could encourage them to wake up. I don't know.
Very important.
I mean, we could try one-on-one talking with them. Maybe if we can, if they're feeding off of their terror, if we could find a way to, what's the opposite of terror? Or the opposite of fear?
Well, terror, scared. Sorry, with the Jody, with the situation, is that their conflicting back and their emotions back and forth? Is that in regards to the situation or to the people specifically across from each other?
It looks like the people specifically. Like when you guys came in, it feels like you guys interrupted like an argument or a negotiation or something. Like it's obvious.
The door came open, everyone shut up.
Yeah, it's obvious that these two groups were interacting at one point, and they're obviously like they're broken up into sides. It's not like just hodgepodge. Like people on the left are one side of this argument, the people on the right are the other side of this argument, and it's obvious that nothing has been resolved. But you guys haven't actually heard any of the argument because as soon as you came in, there was just this cold silence.
People this intense that argue. We simply act about our business. An argument that intense will always start back up.
Yeah.
We just all kind of try to mind our own manners for a moment and pretend we're not here.
Well, it's that like we all know something's happening, but like we're pretending we don't know. Surely they'll start it back up again.
Okay.
Guess we're always like, excuse us, sorry, apologies, and we'll just go over and take a seat.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Because technically, two of you are currently standing on them. So.
Oh, sorry, no, don't mind me. Excuse me, pardon, excuse me, pardon me.
think just to give us some stuff so that people can see, these are the people on that side. And there, so you guys can kind of see the two groups.
The people themselves, are they like, do they appear to be all the same manner of dress, or does like one appear to be more like one
No.
more different from the other?
Yeah, the ones on the right are wearing kind of more functional clothing. They definitely, they have more kind of calloused hands, things like that. Like, these are definitely kind of workers. You're not sure exactly what their careers are, but they're obviously people that work with their hands. They might be adventurers or hunters. They might be blacksmiths for all you know, but it's obvious to you that they have a very physical style job, and their dress matches that. Like, it's very functional. The ones on the left, however, are wearing nice suits. The shoes that they're wearing are not particularly like uncomfortable, like dress shoes type things, but they're definitely something that you wouldn't.
Not practical.
Yeah, not particularly practical for doing anything physical. And very much have an air of wealth around them, whereas the other group seems significantly less so. So you guys just gonna kind of wait to see if they start talking again?
Well, then it's gonna do that thing where like, oh, very interesting. Not pretending I'm not coming in the middle of a tense situation at all. He'll get out his book that Balthazar gave him, and he's going to look very.
So, you guys are actually kind of impressed, because while both of these groups, again, it's obvious to you guys there's some kind of negotiation or argument that's going on right now. But like 5 minutes passes, 10 minutes passes, and they're both just staring holes through each other. Neither one is blinking. And when it gets to the 15-minute mark, like at that point, it's starting to get impressive that both of these groups have just sat there in complete silence, almost unblinking, staring at each other. And as it gets close to the 20-minute mark, you finally see one of the members of the group on the left go, "Listen, we have given you more than favorable terms. I don't understand." And before he can finish it, one of the ones on the right just kind of stands up. "Fuck you on everything you think you're fucking doing. We've been here a hell of a lot longer than you. We will outlive every single one of you fuckers. And the mere idea that you think you can just come in here, change everything, and we're just supposed to listen to you, just give you everything that you want, it's fucking insulting. That's what it is." And he gets up and just storms off to the north, further down. And he actually, any of you guys that are kind of in the aisle, he will walk through you. He won't push past you. He will just continue walking whether or not you move. And as he does that, the other two laborers, I guess we'll call them for right now, kind of see him and go, "Aye, fuck off!" And they will all kind of retreat to the kind of northern part of the carriage.
Do we get the vibe that they had actually acknowledged our presence since they had shut up before, but then like this, that guy walked through us?
They don't seem like they're ignoring you or that they don't see you or anything. You're just not a part of this. Does that make sense? Like the person that was walking through was not like walking through you guys because he didn't realize that you were there. He was walking through you guys because he was just so angry that nothing was going to stop him. but you don't think, it's a situation where they don't realize that you're there. Does that make sense?
I got it.
Okay.
I think Rowan will kind of look to Vala and go like, kind of like just give him the look of like, how do you want to play this?
I think we need to resolve the labor dispute.
Yeah.
I can attempt to befriend either side.
Yeah, it's why the other one of someone else wants to.
I can sometimes be persuasive. I need alchemical help to be deceptive.
Right.
But,
Do you think you would be more persuasive with the common man or with the noble assholes?
I mean, I help everyone, but you seem to know more about nobility than I do.
I'll go be hoity-toity.
I just out of the way for us.
All right. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go speak with the nobility.
Okay. So, you come over and you can see they're kind of whispering to each other, and they see you come over and just kind of look at you. And the kind of unofficial leader of the group goes, "Can I do for you? Have you come to acknowledge our terms?"
It's actually what I can do for you.
You watch him just kind of put his head in his hand. "I understand your viewpoint, but you have to understand this isn't coming from me. It comes from so much higher. I am simply here to inform you of how things are going to work going forward. So say what you will, it's never going to change."
I think you misunderstand. I am I want to help you win.
You're just going to betray your friends? I'm not sure
Yes.
the Dark Lord wants someone like that working for him.
You know what the Dark Lord wants?
I mean,
That's awfully presumptuous.
That is my job. Well, I mean, none of this really matters. Pay your taxes and we can leave. I really don't understand why this is so difficult for everyone to get.
So you're just attempting to collect the normal taxes.
Of course, yes.
And the other side, they don't agree to that.
They have got it into their head that they are somehow more valuable, more intrinsic to the world than they actually are. They somehow believe that this is personal, that somehow I have some personal stake in this. It's nonsense what you people think. Everyone in this world pays their tax to the Dark Lord. Every single person. You are not special, you are not unique, and just because the taxes have increased does not mean it's something personal against you.
So what is the offer that you have made? Please refresh my memory.
We have been discussing this for days, and now and another one goes, just tell him it's not worth trying this yet again. Fine, that's... The new tax is 50 gold a head per month. Since it has been 18 months since we have been here, let me very quickly recalculate so you don't accuse me of trying to cheat you. It's 50 gold times... Well...
900.
Fine. times 12 workers times 18 months. 10,800 gold pieces to cover your back taxes for all of it. If you would like to limit it just to those of you that are on this train, we're not supposed to do that, but I guess 50 times 6 times 18 months, it's only 5,400 gold pieces.
Let me see what I can do.
And you watch as you say that, he starts looking slightly more relieved. Good, then go take it back to your friends, and we can get all of this settled, and then we can move on.
I will head back up towards the top to confer with my associates.
So,
While that was going on, I presume it's like,
yeah, at the same time, as they see, is it just Liliane or Rowan? Are you going, and Argenta, are you guys going up there as well?
Argenta's just kind of listening in earshot of both conversations so
Okay.
that she can take it in.
Gotcha. So Rowan, are you going with Liliane, or are you?
if anyone else is coming along, he's not going to deter anyone.
Okay.
So
So
he ain't coming along, or
Yeah, I'll go, man.
okay.
Okay.
So both you guys come up, and as they see you again, you immediately see this kind of repulsion on their face, and their kind of leader goes, "Listen, we've told you before. You're not bleeding us dry, you bloody bloodsuckers."
oh, I'm not with them.
Aye, of course you're not. You're just coming over here out of the kindness of your heart. Obviously.
Yes.
A man
Yes,
dressed as you is another labourer like us. What part of the forge do you work in, son?
Alright.
I'm a cleric.
When Argenta hears this over their conversation, Argenta's just like, they see you as a boss, remember?
I understand, but I'm trying to convince them through this. Like,
Aye, of course. I've seen many a cleric that looks like you. They're all looking for money as well. Did we not pay our tithe this month?
I don't want any money from you.
Aye, well, this is a new bit of negotiating. But I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told your feckin' friends. We're not paying another dime. We've already paid our taxes. You bloodsuckers came through here not more than 3 weeks ago.
So this is about the taxes.
Aye, it's about the taxes, what you've been clamouring about for 3 feckin' days. We're done with this shite, alright?
With taxes, physical,
Oh, we're sure as hell not paying a blood tax. We've already paid our gold tax. There's no reason you should be trying to exact a blood tax on us. But of course you bloodsuckers will take anything, won't ya?
I don't believe in anything.
Oh, the story keeps changing every time. Oh, bless your heart. You're so kind to us poor, unfortunate people. You know, if you spent one day actually using your hands to do a damn thing, maybe you might understand that these hands are a lot more valuable than y'all are thinking that they are. Now you just want to take every last bit of wealth that we've made.
I can understand why you would be so angry. You've given so much already. Someone comes along and they demand more of you.
Aye, it's insane what you're talking about. 50 gold a head. That's nonsense. Half of us only make maybe 10 gold a month. 50 gold a head, it's nonsense.
Rowan is not mathematically inclined in such a manner, but he would be like, they've just paid their taxes. Rowan, of course, he understands before he
Yeah, I mean,
woke up, but how taxes work, and obviously the god awful blood taxes. But so he understands, like, they just came for taxes. The taxes have been increased. They're put into an impossible situation
Mm-hmm.
because be like they owe something astronomical that I think Rowan understands. Like, that's not reasonable by any stretch of the imagination, but this is also the Dark Lord and taxes.
Yeah.
Well, and as you're kind of thinking through this, the leader kind of keeps going on. It's like, they think that we're all getting paid the same as these fucking adventurers that can go and charge, 100 gold to go kill a damn werewolf or something like that. It's not how it works. Those of us that actually have real jobs, that actually have to do something every fucking day. We don't make 100 gold every single time we lift a testicle or anything like that.
I know it's not fair.
Aye. And as you guys keep to talking, you notice that his mannerisms start to change slightly. I can't believe that these feckers come over here. I mean, how much do you make on a daily basis? It can't be that much more. Where do you... and they start kind of coming over towards you, Levain. It's like, you're what? You're... do you work for the apothecary, maybe? Or no, I think I've seen you. You work at the tavern, don't you? I doubt even with tips you're making 50 gold pieces a month
No.
extra. Aye, the feckin' bastards over there, trying to take all our hard-earned money. I've been saving up for near 6 months, trying to be able to get me and me wife into something nicer than the outhouse that we currently live in. We're this close to being able to get us a real place with a bedroom and a separate room for the kitchen.
Is it cool? What is that? What was that?
Aye, now, you know what I think it is? I think that these feckers noticed, somebody told them that some of us are actually saving up money to better ourselves, to become better people. And they don't want that happening. They always need us to be underfoot.
Yeah.
So they just
even
magically
now.
increase the taxes because they know that they think that they can just take what they want.
I don't. Forgive me. I didn't understand what you're saying, but the amount of money doesn't seem feasible.
Aye,
any
it's not
logic there.
feasible. It's nonsense that
And
they're asking.
Rowan looks over his shoulder at obviously the timeline. Like, they're or Vala is talking to them.
At
And
this
like,
point, Vala is slowly starting
Yeah.
to kind of come over.
people like that don't understand, obviously, what a day's work would mean for anything such as that. I mean, look at their shoes. People like that also they dress in all the finery and they have so little power themselves when it comes to the Dark Lord.
Aye, that's what they want you to think. I'll put 10 to 1 odds that they just made up this number. As soon as they got here, they saw that we had a wee bit of wealth. They decided, oh, we're just going to make up a number because we think that we can get it. And at this point, Vala kind of comes over and he immediately kind of turns and spits on the floor. You go back to your cronies. Tell them they're not getting another cent from us, you damn bloodsuckers.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I think there's some understanding here. Let me go talk to my friends.
Fine, do what you want, but tell them if they think that they're getting a damn 10 grand or anything like that, they're bloody nutters. That's what they are.
Rowan will take steps back over, like the median between the two.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, first of all, I think we need to be careful not to get pulled into the squabble. But this is definitely helping us understand what's going on.
Vala would like to concentrate, close her eyes and focus, and imagine having a bag filled with 10,800 gold pieces
Mm-hmm.
materialize in her hand.
All right. As you sit there and you focus, nothing happens.
Damn,
Um,
I was hoping dream physics.
are there any like is there any writing equipment in this carriage, like a quill and ink and some parchment?
Yeah, you can see on quite a few of the desks there are various writing implements and stuff. You can see that there are some kind of written out, kind of itemized lists and stuff like that in various places. Some of them in multiple pieces.
Argentus is gonna look for a spare piece of parchment, and during the latter half of the conversations, and when they all came over to regather, she's just been sort of making something. It's not done yet, but if I finish it, funny.
Roland's kind of like, Magenta, what are you doing?
I don't know what this will do, but we'll see.
I get worried when you do that.
Well, at least it's not power doing something.
I mean,
I was like, so he'll
hey,
he'll kick
I've
he'll kick
gotten
us
better.
off. Okay, actually, Rowan looked at all like, okay, so you've handled nobility, and I understand you have a sordid past in regarding to dealing with between nobility and the common people, from a noble's perspective. Did they dictate to you like the increase in taxes that they were supposed to be paying per the Dark Lord? Increase in taxes.
Have I heard anything? I believe this is way more than anything that has happened. This is a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah,
Yes.
like even when you were like you paid your taxes as the High Inquisitor, you didn't pay this much tax. Like this is
Right.
an exorbitant amount of money.
So I'm wondering if it could be either one. This could be a bleed over from the real world. You know how sometimes there's like that kind of situation, but you know how mind works when a person dreams is expanded, or if this is just something entirely created in the dream scenario to create this between these two people. Because I want to remind you, that side, the workers, and he's not going to point directly because obviously that would be a bad idea in this case. But he's like, our working class friends are the ones that are a little bit more on high alert in regards to being concerned. I think obviously the concern to that would be the Dark Lord and and the tax collectors. No one wants to pay a blood tax.
No.
No.
So high tensions feeding off the thing, some form of anxiety. I can only imagine what vibe did you get from the noble side? Like
Oh,
what could they be feeding off of?
well, I don't know if it's feeding or supplying, but they gave me the, oh, it's not us. These are just the orders that we've been given from up on high, and it's not our fault. They just seemed very put off by the whole thing. Like, just pay us what we want, we'll go away. I'm wondering if I could try to scare them.
Scare the nobility?
Yes. I could try to convince them that I've been sent by the Dark Lord, and in my facility as High Inquisitor, because I believe that they are trying to skim money off the taxes.
Yeah, the other thing is like I'm concerned about actually feeding into the dream as opposed to trying. What could we do? What could we do to make them come out of the dream? One, what if we? Maybe that's it.
Pinch them?
You know, no. Well, you know when you realize something's a dream, as we've been doing.
Me.
I personally have never heard of taxes being raised this high. Have you?
No.
If we can make them realize that. The nobility side who are reducing these taxes, surely this will be the first time they've ever heard of the taxes being raised this much. And for the worker side, that seems like such an incredible amount. Like surely that would perhaps get things rolling up top about, yes, that is a rather silly large number.
Okay. I can give that a try.
we
I'm cons-
with that.
you realize like, oh yes, like why would I need to go back to do this? I did this 20 years ago. It's like it's the I'm not blaming anyone, but I truly don't want to be deceptive again and end up costing another person being pulled in. I think deception is what's the problem here.
Hmm.
A dream in this case is being deceptive. It's making people convinced that this is the reality.
Okay.
Should
I
we
will.
trade or should we go back? Because I think you have a feel for them, and they seem to be a little bit warmer to me than they are to you.
Yes. Although, I'm trying to think of some old drinking songs I used to know. Never mind. I'll.
Before we I don't know if we're going to do anything different or anyone else has a game plan, Rowan will definitely look to Argenta like, what are you doing?
Just do what you're going to do first.
You're making me more worried.
My head started not power.
Are you writing
What?
Smash? What are you doing?
You'll see.
That doesn't help.
I'm gonna attempt to go back to the nobles,
Okay.
the tax collectors.
As you come over, you see all of them kind of look at you and seem somewhat pleased that you're coming back, and you can feel this like palpable tension and fear as you come closer. So we have an agreement? Yes?
I'm sorry, this is untainable. I've been going over the numbers from the workers. They're making less than 10 gold a month. How can you expect to tax them 5 times what they're making? This is there some kind of decimal error here?
Listen,
These numbers seem made up.
you have been bringing up this exact argument over and over and over again, and I can only tell you I did not make the calculations. All right? I was given a number by the Dark Lord himself, and this is the amount of money I am required to collect. I cannot negotiate any lower because I don't have that authority. I have to come back to the Dark Lord with this money.
I don't see how you can.
I have to. No, it's not possible for me to not come back. You don't understand. None of you will listen to me. If I don't... And you watch him stop. Like you could see in his face, he's like, nope, you can't say that. I cannot leave here without the payment. The Dark Lord has been more than fair with you. He has not required taxes for 18 months. It is
The
not
workers-
my fault that you weren't able to deal with your finances in a way that you set aside the correct amount of money for the taxes. It's not my fault.
The workers say they've already paid their taxes.
You're lying. If you had paid your taxes, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have a very specific number that I have to come up with.
Let's just calm down.
No, I'm tired of my honor being drawn into account here. This is not my decision. I don't want to do this. And then again, you see him kind of register what he just said. I mean, I have a job to do. I have my own family. This is the number that I need. And if you don't give me that number, you can see he's almost pleading at this point.
None of this makes sense. The Dark Lord is benevolent. He does require a price, but he has always been fair. This amount is not fair.
I assure you, it is. As you said, the Dark Lord is benevolent. The Dark Lord is fair. He would not give me this requirement if it was impossible.
I think we need to go back and speak with Dark Lord.
I can't do that. I have to get this money. If I leave this town without the money. And you can see, like, every time he goes on that route, he stops himself. Just go back, tell them to stop lying, stop trying to hide money from the Dark Lord. He knows. He knows how much they really have. That's the only reason he would enact this. It has to be.
But it can't be.
I'm done with this. We've told you what it needs to be.
I'll kind of look over and for a moment, and I'll ask him, "Were you given this by the Dark Lord or by the tax group that travel around?"
I received a personal message on the Dark Lord's official letterhead with his signet seal.
Do you have this letter?
Of course I do. And he goes back and starts kind of rummaging through things. And you see this look of panic on his face. It was right here. I know it was right here. It was you. And he turns to one and says, check your bag. I know you don't have a bag, but find one and check it. It was here. I know it was here. Just give me a moment to look through. Okay? It's here.
I want to say something so badly, but I... Have you checked your pants pockets?
Of course. And he kind of turns around and very quickly, and you see him like pulling out just all these random things. You don't need to see. You see him just kind of turn around. You don't need to see that. It is for my eyes only. I've told you what I have to get.
I think if you think you can get that from these workers, you must be dreaming.
It is the will of the Dark Lord. He says it is possible, and therefore I must do it. Are you trying to tell me that the Dark Lord does not know what happens in his realm? He created this realm. You cannot lie to the Dark Lord.
I would never dream of it, as his High Inquisitor.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Ooh. With disadvantage of 15.
15. And you see, like, 404 starts flashing over his face, and he seems very, very confused. And then I was unaware that a High Inquisitor was necessary for this small, just insignificant issue of unpaid back taxes. Inquisitor, I sincerely, I think you have misunderstood. the situation here. There's no need for an inquisition or anything like that. I've had personal correspondence with the Dark Lord. He's told me exactly what he needs. There's no real reason for you to be here. And as he's saying this, and as he kind of comes to his senses, you notice his face starting to kind of grow paler.
Well, let's try to see if you can find that correspondence. That would go.
Yes, of course. And he kind of reaches out and grabs your hand and just kind of shakes it. And the first thing that you notice, his hands are ice cold. Thank you so much, High Inquisitor. I 100%. I have it here. I was just referencing it moments before.
Okay, I believe you. But if you can find it, we could maybe find the error.
Yes, of course. And he starts kind of.
And I'll kind of like back off and give him some space.
Okay, and he starts literally ripping everything apart. Like he's taking couch cushions off, and the couches here are secured to the carriage, and yet he's trying to lift them up. And you can see he's becoming more and more panicked and more terrified. And he's starting to kind of argue with the other people there. All of them look beyond terrified of you. Like you are familiar with what that title can do to people. This is so much further beyond any reaction that you've seen before. Like some people hated the title of High Inquisitor. A lot of people were terrified of it. You've never seen fear like this. Like this is a brand new level.
Okay. I will give them space and go back to the others and say that was not as productive as I would have hoped.
Rowan just slightly looks, but did you try to convince them, or did you try to deceive them?
I tried to convince them that what they said was not possible, and they repeatedly told me that it was. I tried to be as convincing and as pointing out the holes in their argument as I could. And when that I didn't deceive, technically I am High Inquisitor. At least I was.
My assumption is that their emotion is fear. That they truly do believe that the Dark Lord issued these taxes. And that they are sincerely believing that their lives, their heads, and their families are at stake if they do not get these taxes. Whether or not the dream made this up or this is a bleed over from reality, I don't know. But I do believe that all of this is very real for them. It's going to be very hard to shake their belief that the taxes are not real. Because for all intents and purposes, they are.
I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, if we try feeding this, it's going to be worse for them.
Now, I don't have 5,400 gold pieces to just manifest out of nowhere.
Rowan will actually, he will literally go and he will, like, not to say something obvious to them, but obviously we're having our own private conversation and people are obviously muttering in their own conversations. He's going to be like, I mean, if we're doing, we don't have to actually give them money as much as convince them. I mean,
You're saying I write them a check.
I have 30 platinum. I have 212 gold. I have 400 silver. I have several thousand in diamonds.
Are checks a thing?
I don't know what you were talking about.
Credit has been something that has existed for a very, very long time. So the idea of
not for peasants.
Not for peasants.
No, but
yeah, yeah.
The idea of nobles having basically.
Oh yes,
IOUs,
of course, I'm good for it.
Yeah, like that's.
I could write a banknote for 1,100 and give it to him and say, "Here, take this to the First National Blood Bank of and withdraw this from my account."
True, but we also don't want them to.
So,
Can that
Jody,
further deceive them, though?
Jody,
Mm-hmm.
what Argenta's been creating is more or less kind of like a political broadsheet. She's basically written down, um, down with the Dark Lord, vote for Argenta, the Vampire Slayer. There's a lot of slogans like, we're going to drown his policies and bring them into the sun. But laced into all of these are little puns like wake up and go to the polls, stop dreaming and start believing. And it's in common, and then they're kind of shadowed, but the shadow is in vampire and the same thing of like wake up. You're in a dream. And she's just gonna see if she can give these to the workers and subliminal them.
I have a question on this
Yes.
because I thought what you were doing was something else because I don't want to make the situation worse. So I need to. If this is a dream, have you? We don't. Oh, Rowan hears this. He's like, Rowan immediately goes. He's gonna pull out the book that Balthazar gave him. It's religious text. It's the truth. It would be considered heresy in any other context, in any other village. He'll open it up. Does Rowan see words?
Yes. None of them make sense.
Okay, I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, looking at it, like you could see words that as you try to read them, it's like
go,
duck.
It's the activation words for the Winter Soldier. It's just it's.
Yeah.
But I see Argenta's poster. There's Argenta's poster look like? Oh, yeah, that's a heresy.
Argenta, what's your background?
My background?
Yeah.
Like, I'm technically a mercenary.
Mercenary, okay. So, I'm going to make this an intelligence check with advantage because this is really, really clever. To see how well you can subliminalize this thing. So go ahead and make me just a flat
Can I
intelligence
guidance
check.
this?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, flat intelligence with advantage.
18.
18. And that's
Plus
with
a
the
D4.
guidance?
Yeah, that's what the default.
Okay. So, Rowan, as you look over this little like campaign flyer, your first reaction to it is just, really? This is what you were doing? And you don't
They're like,
rec-
oh, this is a dream. Like,
and you don't even see the subliminal aspects of it. You just kind of read it over and you start getting kind of flustered over it, and you start and you kind of
I'm sorry, my brain went, put the glasses on! Put the glasses on!
and as you're doing that, you kind of blink, and for a split second your eyes open in the real world, and then you close them and you're back, and you don't 100% understand how that just happened. And you guys, as you watch him just kind of flicker for a second, and because he stops existing for a second, the flyer just kind of floats down. And so when you kind of open your eyes again in the dream, you're no longer holding the flyer.
I think the thing that's keeping me here is the potion, because of the lucid dreaming thing.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Do you know a disturbing number of ways to mess with people?
I'm a mercenary. I dealt with political people all the time.
That is a very specific form of mercenary.
Sometimes, going in guns
Does the
blazing
words
isn't
red
nearly
room
as
mean
effective.
anything to you?
What did you say?
Does the words red room mean anything to you?
Wait, red room. Oh wait, no, never mind. You mean something?
Yeah, you're like, oh no, that's a different. Gotcha. Yeah, different room. So what do you guys want to do?
Rowan has nothing else to like. Should we try the workers first or the nobility first with that?
The workers, I think, they will be more receptive to it. And I am going to start forging a bank check.
Okay.
Well,
I-
I'm wondering,
So-
as a policy, how much gold do we have? I have like 900.
I have 541.
I think
as
it's
well
safe
as
to assume.
tools and things.
I think it's safe to assume that even if sum total of everything we seem to have, that would be we don't have an achievable number, but it would look like a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Honestly, if it was any other context, seeing again, I can't believe it's so long. It hasn't been that long since I left. Seeing that amount would just be ridiculous in any other context.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can get them some portion of our money and convince them use Dungeon job. Now, leave.
Jody,
Wait,
sorry, I was just like, Jody, do I get the context that like if we made them think they got anything close to a full amount, that would it pull them into the dream, or would it?
To be perfectly honest, you're not sure. You actually haven't interacted with the tax collectors at all yet. Val is the only one that has, so your ability to kind of get a read on them is going to be very, very limited.
Oh, that's Vala. So, like, do you think this will make it worse? That it will pull them into the dream, or that it will alleviate them?
Val,
and
if you
bring
want to
them
roll
out?
an insight check.
Sure. 6.
6. You don't know.
Because Vala's just like, why would the truth work?
Shots fired.
I'm sorry,
I-
no. You can roll middling and lie to a god. So don't even with me on that. It took alchemical assistance for Relwyn to be on your level.
Look, I can't help it that I'm such a good liar.
That's a lie too.
It's like breathing for me. I'm really sorry. That's a lie
Relwyn is
too.
that
I'm
friend who will
not.
call you on your bullshit.
And Relwyn, that's why I love you.
I know you're not lying.
I tried the truth. It wasn't getting me very far. I did. I told them the math
here-
didn't math.
Here's the thing. I know it's going against the grain for you. I know. I think you did try, but the deception was so much easier for you to do. Tell me I'm wrong.
I gave it everything I had, but they just kept yelling at me. And
Okay, well, let's try the workers first.
yeah, try the workers first. I'm going to continue working on my forgery.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, you work on your coloring.
I will essentially walk up to the workers.
Rowan will go with her agenda because obviously he's already established something with them.
With this essentially a flyer, and I'll
Okay.
be like, I'm Argenta Blue Fang, representing Argenta Blue Fang, and I approve of this message, and I hand it to them.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage. Sorry, I have this like little gnat thing just flying around. It's annoying the hell out of me.
So with advantage, right?
With advantage, yep.
Alright, 2 dice. So I'll use a crystal.
Ha!
16.
16. All right. Where's a roll then? Every so often it's nice when you guys roll those like obnoxiously high numbers because I don't have to roll anything at that point. So it's not possible for them to win. Well, that's a 4.
This isn't Daggerheart. Does a 33 hit your armor? Level 1 Daggerheart? Fuck you.
It's how it works. As you come forward, the kind of leader goes, "And what the feck do you want?"
I heard your plight. The fact that the tax collectors are demanding too much money, and I have come to bring a change to this place. Make sure that people like you are well respected.
I know of this person. You should all look at this.
Aye, so he starts looking at it and he starts reading. He's like,
And
"Aye,
Rowan will encourage the others to look at the flyer too.
aye, this is exactly what we've been looking for. Exactly. Hey, you feckers! We've got a challenge here for all your little tax collecting things. I support Argenta Blue Flame." Bloop. And then the other two guys, "I support Argenta Blue Flame." Bloop. And all three of them just kind of bloop out of
I
existence.
support Argentina, Bluey.
I support Philip. I don't much like Argenta. I think she's mean. So yeah, all three of them just blip out of existence.
That worked.
Rowan will pick up the flyer and not look at it and hand it back to Argenta.
This is
I don't know
black
if
magic.
I don't know if it was the common or the vampire. I just figured I'd double up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a reason why that would work on them as well.
Yeah, but
I will point out, none of the tax collectors are actually vampires. Just to
Oh,
they're all
I
human.
figured. I figured this is just a vampire
Okay.
created realm.
I just figured I would let you know, like, they're all human.
And vampires absolutely hated the fact that Argenta knew how to speak vampire. So
So, what would y'all like to do? Still got 3 people that seem terrified.
That's 3 down.
yeah.
then Argenta will go over to the other 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she'll look at Vala and see if she's finished yet.
Are my arts and crafts finished?
What's your background again? No, that's your title. What's your background?
That's a great question. Charlatan.
Oh, so that's the one that allows you to make forgeries, right? Or
I am.
thinking of a different one.
I do have
I think Charlton
forgery
has something
kit. Additionally, you can forge documents, including official papers and personal letters, as long as you have seen the example of the kind of document or the handwriting you're trying to copy.
So
Which you
don't
have.
have to make a roll for this. You have a pretty convincing banknote from the Royal Bank of Fuck You.
It's pronounced "fuck you." Fuck you.
It's Fukiai. It's Fukiai. Dad used to tell this story about basic training. Drill sergeants going up and down, and everyone's got their names on. Drill sergeant comes to this one. "Oh, you're a fucking comedian, aren't you?" Just chewing him out up and down. "You really think I'm gonna say that?" And the guy goes, "It's pronounced Shithiad."
Argenta's just gonna be like, I can use this to help. Come on.
Right. So, as you come down to the
Rowan will postulate, like, he will ask Argenta and Vala, if you comboed that up, would that be like way too much power, or would that be a
Oh,
conflict?
I no, I know how to make this work.
Okay. Rowan will be like, you got this.
Um,
You know how to
but
aggravate people. I'm gonna step back.
so with Vala there with the check, right? I'm just gonna
Yep.
be like turn my head from side to side and lean in like I'm giving a conspiratorial whisper with them.
Hmm.
The Dark Lord's Inquisitor here is actually aligned with my cause. You see, there's going to be a political change happening soon. Well, we need the workers there to be happy. We're also going to need effective bureaucrats like yourselves in the near future. So, take this check. Give him the money that he needs. Stay low. Take your families and go to safety. And just remember, when the regime changes, I need you. And she'll hand them the flyer.
Okay. So you notice that as soon as you give them the flyer, they drop it. They seem completely uninterested in that. But as they look at the check, you see kind of like the light return to their eyes, a little bit of blood start to come back to their faces, and then they look at the amount and you watch their faces just drop. And you see the fear come back. And you see him kind of go back and he does that. And you see that he now does have a very official looking letterhead with a broken seal now that obviously looks like the Dark Lord's personal signet seal. And he comes back and he is shaking. He is so terrified at this point. Inquisitor, you wanted to see a document. It seems that I've made a slight error.
Okay.
And he just slides it over, and you notice that the amount he told you has now been increased by 5,000 gold.
Oh, is that all? Here, let me see that check. And I will adjust the amount.
Okay,
There you are.
it's great. And then he gets a tap on the shoulder. What? And there's this kind of whisper. It's like, no, you misunderstood. No, and he goes to look at it, and you guys look at the document as well. The number is larger again, now by an additional 10,000.
Are these two people, or are they part of the dream?
Make me an insight check.
Okay. +9. Come on. 19 on the die. +9.
It's 28.
28.
Right?
28.
So, looking at them, they seem like townsfolk. And as you're kind of like going through what you've been told, like you can recognize who they are. Like they're definitely townsfolk, as far as you can tell.
Okay. So I just want to make sure it wasn't like
Yeah, you guys weren't dealing with.
So every time these people are looking down, the number has changed as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rowan will just make the obvious observation, be like, the number keeps changing.
You keep bringing this up. This is the exact same number I have been giving for 3 days. I'm done arguing with you.
It's not. It's already changed 3 times.
You witnessed this change 3 times personally. So have you. My friend here just helped you,
Yeah.
and it changed again.
Yeah,
Literally,
it is
as he helped you.
You need to wake up.
I'm gonna let you guys choose between the two of you, Lillian and Relwyn. One of you needs to make me a persuasion check with advantage.
I have 8.
Yeah,
That's plus 8, so it'd be,
you.
okay. Sorry, that was I was looking at the wrong one. That's I have a plus 8, so I have a plus 9 on persuasion, Jody. But so
Okay. That's
Can,
fine.
can I inspire them?
I still
Sure.
have that D10. I never used that D10
Okay.
from last. It literally came towards the end of the last session. Is that still Jody? Is that still active? Because it's
Yeah.
green. Or...
Bardic inspiration dice don't go away until you rest, I believe. Or do they last for like an hour or something?
It's
It's
10 minutes.
Is it 10
Yeah,
minutes?
conventionally.
10 minutes. For 10 minutes, the creature can add it to one ability
I
check.
was
Oh, yeah,
thinking
so
though
that's
because this is a
gone.
dream.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you guys waited more than 10 minutes for them to start talking at the beginning.
Okay.
So,
Well, true, but it's like
but
again,
he
this is
can
also the dream
re-inspire.
thing. So.
He can
Sure. Okay.
re-inspire you.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead. Advantage
Okay.
plus if you want to use the bardic inspiration.
Um,
I'm gonna magically inspire him by humming the Folgers.
11. Or take that 11. 11. Then D10. 2, so 13. 13 plus 8, so 21.
21. So looking at them, like you can see like the life starting to leave their eyes as they start kind of becoming convinced that
Rowan's like,
this
the
isn't
number
going.
keeps changing.
No, it doesn't. You see, and he looks at it again, and it's now leapt up another 25,000. It's not possible. None of you have touched this. That's the Dark Lord's handwriting. It's not possible for it to just change. None of this is possible.
It's not possible.
Then why is it happening? She's only 6 months old. We've barely had any time to raise her. I have to come up with this money. You can't take my daughter.
I think now Rowan's like, he's now realizing that's why you're so worried.
No,
It's
no, I'm not worried. I'm just here to do a job. And he
And the
looks at it
number
again,
keeps
and it's
changing.
now 100,000 gold.
Rowan
It's
gets
just
point
not-
blank in the face, like you're dreaming. It's time to wake up.
No,
Their fate, your family's waiting for you. They need you to wake up. And thaumaturgy, wake up now!
and as you do that, he kind of gets blown back by just the shock of it. It's not real, and you see the other two people going. My husband, he's safe. I don't have to. And then the third one. My brother is nothing. And then back to the first one. They're not going to be taken in blood tax. This isn't. And he starts looking and he kind of like pokes the window and all three of them vanish.
Argenta picks up the flyer, rolls it up before anyone else looks at it, and puts it away.
I think Rowan kind of looks up at this point. How Harper, like he'll raise his voice. He's not going to scream like he did earlier, but obviously the thaumaturgy, he knows about the sound. He's like, "How happy are you now?"
As you say that, you suddenly feel the train car lurch, and you guys start hearing this very, very faint, very distant screeching sound, and you can feel the train is slowing down. As you all are kind of shifting in there and kind of trying to figure out what's going on, you suddenly notice, almost as if it just appears out of nowhere, like an old moss-covered bell, the screech of the rapidly halting locomotive mutely echoes around a large, marble-clad chamber that seems to coalesce from nowhere. Gone is the silent, tumultuous storm of dark, roiling clouds and violet lightning. Instead, a lofty hall filled with high walkways and a web of pipework fills the windows. In an instant, doors materialize on either side of the carriage, and a robotic female voice says, "Please alight from the locomotive." A man, dressed in a conductor's uniform, cowers at the top of a wide marble staircase. Cowers at the top of the wide marble staircase. "They're everywhere!" he whimpers. So, if all of you would like...
Where are we on this massive map?
let me first show the audience what we are looking at. So...
Yeah, make sure to zoom out.
Yeah. Very, very large map.
Oh, wow, yeah.
The conductor... let's see if I can find a good conductor portrait.
You have your choice of either George Carlin or Ringo.
Oh, take
I already
take
have
a
inspiration.
reroll token for that. That's,
The reroll token? Okay.
I love Shining Time Station. We'll use that for him. So he's way up here. The sparky thing, that is the head of the train. That's the engine. So you guys would be coming out of this part right here. So you can put your minis on either side of the train here.
So tiny.
Argenta's just looking around like, we could figure out how this works and then put it in to our world.
So you
The
can-
train, I mean, not the dream.
Yeah. So you guys can see this man in a conductor's uniform is up at the top of these stairs, and he is just trembling. He has his eyes covered, and he's just trembling up there. "They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Please. No."
Should we?
I look at them and I'm just like, I understand he's a conductor, but what's a conductor?
They
Rowan's
conduct an
gonna, like,
orchestra.
yeah, I was like, Rowan's like,
I know,
There's-
that's what's confusing me. I'm used to them having instruments, but
I was
this
gonna
is
because Rowan can't
train.
Rowan can't make an engineering joke.
We're going to wake up with knowledge we shouldn't have. I can feel that already.
Here, I'll help with resistance. Oh,
And then she'll slowly approach the conductor.
Okay.
you know anything about electronics? You got that?
Did
She'll go to like here on the stairs and she'll be like, "What's wrong, sir?"
Are the rest of you gonna follow Argento? Or you
I
gonna stick
would
by?
follow her. I would
Okay.
follow
we're
her.
following?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm following.
As you guys,
Rowan is like, I think he's definitely like reckon like, what the, like, because he's seeing this. He's now walking by this train. He has no outer context. Now he's seeing this electrical thing.
Mhm. As you guys reach in front of the train, you suddenly start hearing, again, very muted, almost as if it's like they're screaming into a pillar or something. You start hearing these wails and screams. You suddenly see these strange ghost-like creatures just kind of coming from everywhere, and they all seem to be coalescing around you. But unfortunately, that is where you're going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TraderTraderJody. Otherwise, again, it's going to be all for me today, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.